Hey, how's it going? I don't know what prompted you to click on this video, but whatever the reason, thank you. I really do appreciate it. I'm not entirely sure what this is gonna be, okay? I just felt like coming on here and crashing out a little bit, so why the fuck not? You know, I've noticed this weird trend on YouTube where a bunch of these like no-named idiots get on and basically just talk about life in like very vague ways and get a shit ton of views. So I figured I'd do the same thing. My lust for attention is never ending, as it seems. So let's do that now, shall we? Life is weird, isn't it? It's weird. You know, I'm going through kind of a season right now, which I'd just describe as like a massive L in almost every way. I mean, life is weird, man. Life is weird. You know, something that made me realize, you know, just how strange it is you know, a few days ago it was Easter, right? So a bunch of my family came over, and you know, including my grandfather. Now, he likes to tell stories from when he was younger, and you know, he was basically talking about how when he was my age, you know, he was a farmer, so basically he was working on the farm since like the age of 13, which he would eventually inherit so that he could provide for his family. So he was doing a lot at a very young age. It's very impressive. And you know, I was just kind of sitting there like, dang, this motherfucker was absolutely destroying me. I mean, in every fucking way. And I feel like this is true for a lot of people. Like, you know, my parents, for example, they met when they were 18, which is my age. So I just, what the fuck am I doing is basically my question. I'm sure there's people that can relate to this. It just feels like I'm falling further and further behind in life, even though I'm probably not in the grand scheme of things, although it really feels like it. So with my parents, for example, like they met when they were 18 years old, right? I don't have anyone in my life who I'm like, damn, you know, that's a person I'm gonna marry. Like, that's crazy to me, right? Like, that's insane. Or fucking managing an entire farm at 18, all the machinery, all the stuff. Like, I couldn't fucking do that. I don't know. Dude, I'm barely passing high school, like barely. And I didn't even know if I haven't passed yet, right? Like, I'm still, you know, trying to hang on for dear life, trying to pass this semester so I don't have to repeat the year. Like, that's, man, I don't know, maybe skill issue, I guess. Anyways, let's talk about school. School sucks. Let's be real here. It's trash, and I've always hated it. I've always hated the education system. I've always really struggled academically. You know, it's just never been my strong suit. I have a terrible memory. Like, ask anyone that knows me, and they'll tell you, Samuel, he forgets everything, like, straight away. And I feel like school has always played on my weaknesses very well, because I'm talking about the academic side of school specifically. Like, pretty much all it is memorizing, like, stuff. Like, reading the textbook or whatever, and then just memorizing as much as possible. And that is just something I'm absolute trash at. I just don't remember shit. And, yeah, it's really always bothered me, you know, seeing people who seem to just be able to pick it up super easily, right? Like, they barely study, and then their grades are just infinitely higher than mine. Because I feel like I'm the kind of person where, you know, I'm studying quite a lot now because I'm trying to pass, right? And I'm not doing particularly well. You know, I'm doing all the studying just to get very, very mediocre results, and that just really pisses me off, basically. But yeah, I mean, I'll be hopefully graduating soon, so I'll never have to think about that shit again. But then, what do I do next? Like, that's another thing. Like, I genuinely have no idea. That's another thing that I find kind of absurd, is we look at 18-year-olds, and we're like, hey, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? Like, what do you want to do? And that's such like a bizarre question to ask, since, like, for me and for the vast majority of people my age, most of our real world experience has come from inside of a classroom, right? How the fuck would I know what I want to pursue? Like, that's such like an absurd thing. I'm just meant to guess. Like, I feel like all the people who are like, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna be a doctor when I grow up because I love doing medicine, or I'm gonna be a lawyer, they're basically just guessing. It seems like they're just, yeah, this seems like it might be okay, you know, like you're basically just meant to guess. And I just find that so absurd. You're meant to guess, and then you have to pretend like you're certain. It really pisses me off. I'm kind of at a stage in my life, like, where like everything is pissing me off. Like, even small things. So, for instance, in my hometown, this is super random, and I'm very much like crashing out, but in my hometown, they raised bus ticket prices by like 20p, and that really pissed me off. Like, you know, I use the bus a lot, so that's like a small thing that genuinely made me depressed for like an entire day. And another thing, like yesterday I was making pasta, and fucking hell, I dropped it in the sink, and that just ruined my evening because I had to then pick it up out of the sink, and man, just pissed me off. The people in my life are really pissing me off. Like everyone around me, it's just getting on my skin. I don't know, fucking hell. To be completely frank, outside of just getting views, another reason I'm doing this is because I feel like there's gotta be people going through. I don't know why I'm saying like I'm going through something. I'm really not. In the grand scheme of things, I'm really not. Like none of this fucking matters. Who gives a shit? I don't know. I'm just an idiot. But I feel like life can get lonely, right? And on a more serious note, what is this? This is not serious at all. My life has been pretty lonely recently. Okay, it really has. And that's weird, right? Because I feel like it shouldn't be. Because for this entire time, I've always had people around me, and I still do. I still have friends. I've still got my family. I've got people online I talk to. Like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel so damn alone? I don't know. It's a weird thing that I can't explain why, but it just is, and I've kind of not accepted it, but I don't know, I've kind of become a bit more numb to it, I guess, and that's weird. I don't know, because I don't really want to feel this way for the rest of my life. It's not nice. Whenever I pictured loneliness, I always pictured someone that was always alone, right? But I don't think that's the case. I think it's possible to feel lonely even with people around you, right? Like I'll be in a group setting, talking to people, laughing, whatever, and I'll still feel lonely, which is like, I don't know, it's kind of sad, honestly. I don't know. So yeah, maybe am I crazy? Does anyone feel the same way? Let me know in the comments section. I'm sure this will be a fun one to read. Maybe it is just me. Maybe I'm just fucking crazy. Maybe I'm just fucking cuckoo, crazy, mental. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. I feel like this has been very. I don't know if I'll upload this. Honestly, it's been very random. I don't want to get too into specifics because I don't want to bore you guys with my life because it really isn't that interesting. It's just kind of ugh. Yeah, I'm at a point in life now where trying to do things that are enjoyable, like this channel, for example, right? Which I genuinely love the videos I make on here. I'm at the point now where, I try to record something and just in the back of my head, I constantly have these like random thoughts of like, I'm not good enough. This is a waste of time. I should be doing something else right now. I should be studying. I should be doing blah, 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 blah. I'll just randomly get a memory of something someone has said to me once, or, some bullshit that happened, and it's just why I don't know. I've always had a very hard time with the expectations of other people. Now I know realistically not that many people are thinking about me, okay? As humans we generally don't think about other people that much, at least I don't. I'm not really there like judging anyone really, even though my videos might make me seem like I do. I really don't, but for some reason I get so caught up in my head about like, what's this person gonna think of me, or what's what are my parents gonna think of me if I do this or whatever, right? And I've always just had this huge fear, and it's probably my biggest fear, has just been like disappointing others or like letting them down, whether that be my parents, anyone else from my family, my friends, even teachers, right? Like strangers. I just have this crippling fear of letting other people down, and I feel like that's really held me back in a lot of ways. And I don't even know why I'm saying this, but it's something that's been weighing on me a lot. And I know at the back of my head that like people aren't really thinking of me, but it's easy to think that they are, if you know what I mean. And I feel like there's got to be someone that relates to that, right? So if that's you, I don't have any advice for you because I'm still struggling with myself. So yeah, I think I just gotta realize, man, that like no one gives a shit, right? And that sounds terrible, but it's weirdly liberating, and it's something I just haven't really accepted yet. I think we're very self-centered as people. I certainly am. I see the world through just this weird lens of everybody looking at me constantly. Which just isn't true. I know it isn't, but I think it is, if that makes sense. That's super weird. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been feeling too good recently, honestly. Like this past year has just been fucking miserable. But yeah, like I said, life goes in seasons, right? And I'm just going through a bad one right now. which will come to an end eventually, right? Something new will happen, with new doors opening in my life, you know, right? I won't be in this position forever. So yeah, that's just how it is. Again, all the complaining in this video, you know, it comes from a place of immense privilege at the end of the day, right? I realize that my life, compared to so many others, has been incredibly easy. So, you know, it's just, you know, I even feel a bit silly making this video in the first place. But, you know, I think it might get views, so fuck it. If you've enjoyed, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Have a good one.